President Trump visited Ruth Bader Ginsburg's memorial at the U.S. Supreme Court. We'll show you how some people reacted.
Protesters surround Senator Mitch McConnell's home, angry that he's pushing to fill Ruth Bader Ginsburg's vacant seat.
And the Biden campaign has raked in donations in the past week. We'll take a look at why. See It Live is next.
The battle between Republicans and Democrats is heating up as President Trump gets one step closer to naming his Supreme Court nominee. Good evening, I'm Cambry Guest.
And I'm Brett Chody. Tonight we'll take a closer look at what filling the seat left by Ruth Bader Ginsburg means for the country. Hundreds of Americans paid their respects to the late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg today outside the U.S. Supreme Court. This weekend, Ginsburg will be the first woman to lie in state in the U.S. Capitol. President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump visited the late justice's casket early this morning, where they were met with boos and vote him out chants from the crowd. We spoke to a USC sophomore who attended Ginsburg's memorial.
My name is Hannah Woodworth, and I am a USC sophomore right now. I'm currently in Washington, D.C. Personally, I've grown up with Ruth Bader Ginsburg being a role model of mine, not only because I've been politically engaged since a young age, and that's something I want to pursue, but because she was a titan for women's rights. And seeing all the other young women and people come and honor her that evening was just extraordinary. People brought flowers, people were lighting candles. We had chalk, so we were writing on the Supreme Court steps with chalk. That could have been vandalizing, but I feel like in the moment it was allowed. And we were just writing how much she meant to us. It was the first time since the pandemic that I felt a true sense of community. And it's sad that this is what had to bring people together, but it really showed how much this common figure meant to people.
This morning, a large and angry crowd of protesters surrounded Mitch McConnell's Washington, D.C. home. They shouted, whistled, and raised signs saying, "We can't sleep, so neither should Mitch." The Senate Majority Leader is backing Trump's plan to nominate a Supreme Court justice replacement before the November election. McConnell is being vilified as a hypocrite because in 2016, he had the complete opposite opinion.
This was McConnell's rule when Merrick Garland was nominated by President Obama. The American people should have a voice in the selection of their next Supreme Court justice. Therefore, this vacancy should not be filled until we have a new president. Leader McConnell's actions may now very well destroy the institution of the Senate.
Chicago Justice Amy Coney Barrett is believed to be the top contender. President Trump put her in her current job as federal appeals court judge for the Seventh Circuit. Barrett is a favorite among religious conservatives for her stance on reproductive rights. She was a clerk for conservative justice Antonin Scalia and a professor of law at Notre Dame. Also a top contender is Florida Judge Barbara Lagoa. Like Barrett, the conservative Cuban-American judge was nominated for her position by President Trump. Lagoa currently serves on the Court of Appeals for the 11th Circuit. Before taking her seat, Lagoa went to Columbia Law School. If the Senate approves President Trump's Supreme Court nominee, the court will gain another conservative, creating a stronger majority for the right.
With a 6-3 majority, it's more likely that you're going to get conservative results. Not completely certain, because again, you could have the 3 liberals plus 2 of the conservatives, or more. You could have unanimously liberal results, as there often are on various issues. The whole point of the democratic system is to align the political interests of politicians and serving the interests of the people as the people who get to re-elect them or to throw them out of office see those interests.
Under the Constitution, there are no mandatory qualifications to become a U.S. Supreme Court judge. You don't even have to be born in the U.S. to become one. After being nominated, the Senate Judiciary Committee holds a hearing to question the nominee and vote for the recommendations sent to the entire Senate. Once seated as a justice, the job is set for life.
I'm Leanna Falk reporting from LA. The passing of Justice Ginsburg, a feminist icon, has Americans wondering what the future holds for women's reproductive rights.
While it's never a cause for it being a joyous occasion when somebody passes, the possibility for the new justice that is going to be nominated, I think, has everybody very hopeful that is involved in the pro-life movement.
Here in California, we have quite a bit of protections. We have both a legislative protection, but it's also been enshrined into our Constitution. So when we come up to certain issues around abortion access, but for states across the country, many of them that have what is called trigger laws, they could be in real danger.
Roe v. Wade established a woman's legal right to abortion in 1973. The Supreme Court ruled in a 7-2 decision that a woman's right to choose was protected by the privacy rights guaranteed by the 14th Amendment.
The death of Ruth Bader Ginsburg has left many in the country feeling shocked and saddened. Many have taken to the streets to express their feelings in emotional vigils and protests. However, a recent protest that took place on these very steps in Santa Ana had a very different approach. A string of Orange County women's organizations recently took to the streets in front of the Ronald Reagan Federal Building and Courthouse to protest Donald Trump's administration after the death of longtime Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Protesters donned outfits from the dystopian series The Handmaid's Tale to express their fears on the future of American politics.
Having Justice Ginsburg for most of the time there was on our side, gave us hope, and now losing her just made things look much starker and much darker for our community.
Many at the event saw Justice Ginsburg as a protector of not just women's rights, but all rights.
So this is not about just women. It's about humanity. It's about progress, and it's about the balance of the power. The biggest threat to democracy is the continuation of Trump legacy.
Locals feel this protest is important to remind everyone exactly what the stakes are for this presidential election.
We're at a point of no return now. What this election is about right now is survival.
Until then, protesters are doing their utmost to remind everyone about the incredible woman that has left a hole in the country's heart. For Annenberg News, I'm Trevor Kefauver.
Democratic leaders are debating the possibility of expanding the Supreme Court. It's a concept commonly referred to as court packing. We spoke with Professor Art Auerbach about his concerns for the future of the court and the politicization of the bench.
I think the likelihood, even with a unified government, is that this is really a veiled threat. I don't think that Joe Biden has any interest in packing the court. And I personally don't think it's a good idea. All that would do is overly politicize the U.S. Supreme Court, the one institution that's not designed to be political.
So far, Biden has not signaled support for such a bold reform. Last year, he told reporters that he's, quote, not prepared to go and pack the court because we'll live to rue the day.
The Democratic Party received a record-breaking amount of donations immediately following the death of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. According to the fundraising site ActBlue, grassroots donors gave $100 million to Democratic causes within 36 hours of her passing. The Trump campaign has yet to release its comparable fundraising data. For more on how the Biden campaign is taking in donations, we spoke to a USC student who chose to donate after Justice Ginsburg's passing and a professor who specializes in civic engagement.
I think it was a really emotional death for a lot of young women and women in general in the country. And I chose to donate to ActBlue because I think that it's really important to put all of our efforts, if people can help, into the Democratic Party in order to maintain some sort of liberty and justice in the judicial system in this country.
I think there's the immediate gut reaction that a lot of people hearing about her death felt like they wanted to do something, was fearful about what her death might mean to the court and to the country. One is people want to feel like they have some sort of control over the situation, feel like they're contributing, feeling like maybe they can possibly make a difference. The landscape of the presidential race is set, but yet there's always things like the death of Ruth Bader Ginsburg that can come in a surprise and and shake things up.
RBG, a 2018 documentary on the late Supreme Court Justice, will be played in over 1,000 theaters across the country, starting this weekend. The filmmakers of RBG say the documentary highlights just a small portion of the Supreme Court Justice's legacy. They have re-released the film in hopes that moviegoers are inspired by her passion and courage. A website, www.rbgmovie.com, has been launched for people to easily select a nearby theater that is showing the film. Now, Brett, I don't know about you, but I am counting down the days until I can go see RBG in theaters again. I saw it at LA Live for the first time when it came out, and I seriously could not stop thinking about it for about a week and a half.
I know, I'm the same way. When my mom first told me to watch it in 2018, I was absolutely obsessed. RBG is such an inspiration, and I can't wait to watch it again this weekend. I'm literally counting down.
I'm hearing a movie date. Is that what you're saying?
So down. Let's do it.
All right, well, let's do it. That wraps it up for this Thursday. Thanks for tuning in.
From all of us at See It Live, have a great night.